heart and hope to die. Welcome to my dark side.
Welcome to the Jesse James Show. I'm your host, Jesse James, and soon to be, I guess, almost co-host,
Josh Rivera. What's going on?
So he brought over a topic today of our whole, what is this topic?
So this topic is basically about Donald Trump being a time traveler, or about his family being a time traveler back in like the 1800s. The guy talked, they talk about how Tesla and the Trumps have been partnered up since the 1800s to early on, when Donald Trump's uncle or great uncle learned how to bend time, or Tesla learned how to do it, and he died in some hotel, and then his uncle took all that information and
just kept it or something.
Yeah, just watch the video. I haven't dug deep into it, but apparently there's books that came out about this as well. Like, it's in an actual book.
I've heard similar things. So I haven't watched this video yet. So with you guys, we're going to be seeing it firsthand. Josh sent it over to me, so I'm just going to wing it. But so what I have read about things like this, where it's linking the Trumps back to different political or elite leaders or royal family members, things like that back in generations. Even I heard this about Tesla too, but I was like, man, I don't know. So here we go. We're going to watch it and we'll check it out.
Yo, to anyone who's deep in the rabbit hole, bro, buckle up, bro, because this shit is absolutely insane. So I took some notes here so I remember what to say. So in 1893, this guy named Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a 3-part book series, right? The first one is called Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump. The second one is called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. And the third one is called The Last President. Alright? In the first book, Little Barron Trump lives in Trump Castle in Germany, and he finds a manuscript by a man named Don Fum that leads to underground tunnels in Russia that have portals to other dimensions. Okay? The first 2 books are just about Barron Trump and his dog, like, exploring all these weird dimensions, right? But this is where it really gets weird, bro. In the third book, The Last President, Don Fum uses these portals to become a controversial president who lives on 5th Avenue in New York. And he basically ruins the price of gold and is super controversial and ruins everything. His vice president's name is Pence, bro. That shit is absolutely crazy, but it gets even crazier, bro. Ingersoll Lockwood lived on the exact same street as Nikola Tesla when he wrote this book series. At the very same time that he was living on this street with Nikola Tesla was claiming that he invented time travel. Like, he deadass was saying, I'm about to make freaking time traveling portals and we're about to do it. And a little bit after, he mysteriously dies in a hotel, and all of his blueprints, all of his inventions are in this hotel when he dies. Guess who gets sent, along with the CIA, to pick up his blueprints? John G. Trump. Trump's literal blood uncle, bro. Think about it, bro. It gets even deeper, though. Wernher von Braun, Nazi scientist, by the way, founder of NASA, wrote a book called Project Mars in 1953 about a man named Elon who takes everyone to Mars. The founder of NASA. And now Trump and Tesla are working together. They got space and time. Think about it, 5th Avenue right by Times Square. I'm telling you, dog, this shit is a simulation, bro.
All right. That's pretty funny.
My brain doesn't type and watch at the same time. So I was over here just messing this thing up.
All right, here. So what is at Fifth Avenue?
Where Donald Trump lives. That's what he was saying.
Donald Trump doesn't live at Fifth
Well,
Avenue.
I mean, he's in the White House now. But
Even when it was Pence. What was at Fifth Avenue before Donald Trump and Mike
I don't know.
or Pence, whatever his name is? And then what city did he say? You remember what city he said?
Well, Times Square is where in Manhattan?
New York.
Manhattan, right?
Times Square, New York.
Times Square, New York.
Right? So we could just almost go through all of his claims real quick and see what is there, you know? So at Fifth Avenue, so 34th and 5th, you have the Empire State Building. You have New York Public Library at 42nd and 5th Avenue. St. Patrick Cathedral, 50th and 5th Avenue. All right, let's see. Does Donald Trump any property at or on 5th Avenue?
Yeah.
So he owns Trump Tower, and that's it. Okay, so that's pretty close coincidence, if that's true.
But we have to go back to what year was that? 1900?
Well, they're talking in the future, so like time travel, you almost can't put a date on it, right?
Oh, so what I'm saying is he said that Tesla lived in the same place that Donald Trump now lives in.
Did he? I don't think he said that. I think he said that. Well, okay, let's watch it again.
Go back.
Yo, to anyone who's deep in the rabbit hole, bro, buckle up, bro, because this shit is absolutely insane. So, I took some notes here, so I remember what to say. So, in 1893, this guy named Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a 3-part book series, right? The first one is called Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump. The second one is called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. And the third one is called The Last President. Alright? In the first book, Little Barron Trump lives in Trump Castle in Germany. And he finds a manuscript by a man named Don Frum that leads to underground tunnels in Russia that have portals to other dimensions. Okay? The first 2 books are just about Barron Trump and his dog, like, exploring all these weird dimensions, right? But this is where it really gets weird, bro. In the third book, The Last President, Don Frum uses these portals to become a controversial president who lives on 5th Avenue in New York. And he basically ruins the price of gold and is super controversial and ruins everything. His vice president's name is Pence, bro. That shit is absolutely crazy, but it gets even crazier, bro. Ingersoll Lockwood lived on the exact same street as Nikola Tesla when he wrote this book series. At the very same time that he was living on this street with Nikola Tesla was claiming that he invented time travel. Like, he deadass was saying, I'm about to make freaking time traveling portals and we're about to do it. And a little bit after, he mysteriously dies in a hotel, and all of his blueprints, all of his inventions are in this hotel when he dies. Guess who gets sent, along with the CIA, to pick up his blueprints? John G. Trump. Trump's literal blood uncle, bro. Think about it, bro. It gets even deeper, though. Wernher von Braun, Nazi scientist, by the way, founder of NASA, wrote a book called Project Mars in 1953 about a man named Elon who takes everyone to Mars. The founder of NASA. And now Trump and Tesla are working together. They got space and time. Think about it, 5th Avenue right by Times Square. I'm telling you, dog, this shit is a simulation, bro.
All right, dude.
So it was Don Fume that he was saying lived on that 5th. Okay.
He didn't live on 5th Avenue. He lived down the street from Tesla. Tesla didn't live on 5th Avenue.
So who lived on 5th Avenue?
Trump. Trump lives on 5th Avenue. And he spoke about it that the president would come from 5th Avenue. So I took some very shaky notes, right? Very shaky notes. We can call it very shaky, not very precise or anything. So this is what I understand was Barron Trump they had 3 books laying out their presidency, laying out what Trump was doing in Germany, Barron was doing in Germany and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Because he had Barron lived at Trump Castle in Germany, right? And Barron Trump went on these journeys through these dimensional portals, which that was the whole story of each book. And it ended up into the book being, he read this manuscript from Don Frum about the portals, and then, manuscript about the portals. Then they go into the presidency, living on Fifth Avenue, and his vice president was Pence, right?
Yeah, and that about ruining the price of gold.
Yeah, he was supposed to ruin the price of gold and ruin everything.
Yeah.
That's what he said, right?
Yep.
And then, what was it, Ingersoll Lockwood?
Ingersoll Lockwood.
Lived on the same street. Lockwood lived on the same street of Tesla, and that was the guy that wrote the books.
Yeah, he wrote the books.
Yeah.
In the 1900s.
Yeah. So he wrote those books, and this is all speaking about time travel, right?
Yeah.
And Nikola Tesla at that same time was trying to invent time travel,
And he claims to have invented a way to bend time.
yeah. So, and then it moves forward into he dies. What, in the hotel?
In the hotel.
So he dies. So then Trump's uncle goes with the CIA to pick up all the blueprints and move on, and then take it into whatever they were doing, right? And then Wernher von Braun wrote a book of, what was it called? Something
He wrote
of Mars.
a book. I don't know. I forget what the name of the book was. But in the book, he talks about Tesla taking us to Mars.
Yeah, not Tesla. A guy named Elon.
Oh yeah, a guy named Elon, not Tesla.
Yeah.
Elon taking us to Mars.
Was it Journey to Mars or something? I don't know. Whatever. But we seen it in there. So it was that Mars book. So the Nazi, and it almost goes back to the Trump Castle in Germany.
Yes.
Wernher von Braun being a German Nazi scientist, inventor of the A-bomb, right? and then so he writes this book. That's Elon. Oh, it was called Elon to Mars, right? No, I don't know. Could be anything. So Tesla, so Tesla is space. Elon is space, everything up there. And Trump controls time. That was his theory of it. Dude, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it sounds pretty believable. Sounds a little crazy.
The books is what's making it believable.
Yeah.
The fact that there's 3 books out there that were written in the early 1900s and late 1800s, that is the part that's got me like, is this true?
But
I think we have to read the books to really get more information. Like,
do you think it was just a series of completely unrelated events with people having the same name? Project Mars was one of them. Was one of the books.
I think that theory can be fact checked with the fact that it's Donald Trump's uncle. Like, why is Donald Trump's uncle involved in this as well? It's just too close of a coincidence.
Yeah, how many series how many coincidences is too much?
Exactly.
Is it Elon, what's the odds of that kid?
What's the odds of, what's the guy name?
When was that book written?
Which one?
Project Mars.
Project Mars. Let me see.
If we could find out when Project Mars was written, and then cross-reference that to how common was the name Elon at that time, and how old is Elon, right? That would probably be the best way to figure some of this stuff out, right? So he wrote that book, man, during the war? Right after the war?
It says 1940s.
Right after the war.
So he wrote the book in the 1940s.
Okay, so Wernher von Braun wrote Project Mars a technical tale in 1948. While
So this one's not. Which one's this? This is by Lockwood.
yeah, but so and that's while interned at Fort Bliss, Texas, after coming to the U.S. under Operation Paperclip. He was the original science fiction novel combined with the detailed technical appendix about how crewed expeditions to Mars might work. The manuscript wasn't published until 2006, long after his death. The book is notable because von Braun described a fleet of 10 large spacecraft carrying about 70 people on the first mission to Mars. Very ambitious for 1940s. So that was the book Project Mars. I don't know, man. That seems right up his alley. They would probably be thinking the same thing. But what were the odds? How popular was the name Elon in 1948? That would probably be the next question I would ask. Like how popular was his name in 1948 when he wrote that?
Actually, I'm gonna let you do that.
No, just write that.
Oh.
You should have just put how popular was the name Elon in 1948.
Nah.
Why?
It wasn't in the top 1,000 names.
Yeah, you could have found the same information with 5 words.
Hey, man. I was trying to be very specific.
We're broad strokes right now.
Yeah.
You don't want to narrow down too quickly. You want to stay very broad.
Okay.
Right? Because if you narrow down too quickly, then you get a narrow mindset.
Gotcha.
So you want to stay really for me, that's how I do research. Like I want to be broad. I want to know like how
if I cater it towards what's going on, I'm gonna find more information about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
So like right now you just found out Project Mars, name of Elon was the kid, right? And it wasn't very popular. It didn't even make the top 1,000 names in America, right?
Nope.
So
it says that when von Braun used Elon in Project Mars, it wasn't because it was common name. It was obscure and likely chosen for its biblical and ancient flavor. I think we have to read the books.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
What's the name of the? Okay, you got it right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm. As you're pulling this information, I'm collecting that information too. So it's like almost a working group.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you guys have any other ways that you guys collect information and gather information. This is probably one of the easiest ways I do it. Is I'll start making a entire like almost checklist of everything. Like I want to get all the names of the books, right? From those books, I'll probably pull quick summaries of those or read the back of it kind of thing and put those underneath that. Now I have all the books. Then I get the dates lined up with what that guy said. And I almost pick apart his story to find the commonality or find the truth or is it real or is it not? And then if I hit to a point where it's like, man, that's just not feasible, I usually just stop and be like, look, this is where I stopped because it's not feasible.
You should get into journalism.
Nah, I don't want to do that. It's weird. Actually, this is
the same.
That's podcast.
Yeah,
I'm not
the
saying
same thing.
Yeah. All right, where was I? But that's how I pick apart a story. Hey, comment down below. Let me know what you guys do to pick apart a story. So that way, I don't know, maybe it'll make me better, make you guys better. We can collaborate, work it out. That would be awesome. What else did you pull up?
So I have the books pulled up, Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump and His Wonderful Dog, Bugger. That was published in 1889. Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, published in 1893. And then The Last President, also known as The Last President. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Do you think with that, man, you got to actually think that Trump is the last president?
With everything that's going on right now and the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, Trump did say that he would like to be the last president, right?
I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that. I guess it all depends on, yeah. I haven't heard of that yet. That sounds like some Democrat spin, like, oh man, like he's a fascist. He says he's going to be the last president and it's over. It's him from now on, And
I should have been more
but,
specific.
yeah, that sounds like some conspiracy thing, man. But
all right, okay. So even if it is, or if they're trying to make it a conspiracy and link the two and make something that it's not, It goes back to the coincidences.
Well, if that is if the end game is Trump is the last president, which Trump? How many Trumps are there now? You have Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
You got Junior, right? And then you have his other Eric Trump, and then you have Barron Trump, right? So which Trump is the last Trump president? Is it Barron Trump? He's what, 18, 20?
Now that you're taking it in that direction, I could see that happening too. I could see that being the future pathway for his family. You know, like you got
the dynasties. You
Yeah,
have
the
like
dynasty.
a Kennedy
Yes.
dynasty,
Yep.
or the Clintons. The Clintons wanted to do that. You know, like Biden, he would want the same thing. You know, everybody tries to create that dynasty.
Yeah, Bush.
Yeah, Bush is perfect, right?
Yeah.
So,
I could see that happening.
yeah, maybe it's Barron Trump. The books are written about Barron Trump. You know, this Trump isn't it. Maybe he's setting the stage for it, right?
Barron Trump. It could be that.
Maybe it's Barron.
We're just focusing on the fact that Donald Trump, because now we're getting their information. Bro, I think that that's what it is.
You think?
I think that
Barron
it
Trump?
could be Barron Trump, man.
How old is Barron Trump? I know he's in college, so he's like at least 18, going probably closer to 20 now, right? Maybe that's the case, right?
Yeah, but or what about Elon? What about the coincidence that Tesla and Trump, the Trump family, are working together?
They, you know, to be honest,
What's that? Where,
it's not that. I think Nikola Tesla had a little bit different mindset.
He's 19.
19. I think he had a little bit different mindset than Elon. Elon bought the name of Tesla, right? That's what he did. He ended up buying the name. I forgot what he actually paid for it, but that's how Tesla came back again, right? So, like how, what's his name? Trump's uncle cooperated with the CIA
Yeah,
to get that stuff. I think,
but why? That's the
I don't think Nikola Tesla would have worked with Trump's uncle. You know what I mean? Because he wanted to give free. Like Nikola Tesla wanted, you know the difference between AC and DC current, right? AC current is like what we operate inside our houses. DC current is what operates your car, like batteries and stuff
Gotcha.
like that. Direct current and alternating current. That's what it actually means. But so if Nikola Tesla had this plan that instead of having like almost like a wire running to every single street lamp, he was able to put electricity through the air because it's already there anyways, right? So he had this idea to put, I think it might have been AC or even DC. You guys can correct me on that. But he wanted to have like free internet, almost like Wi-Fi. I mean, not free internet, free electricity like Wi-Fi. But if you think about it, and like the government as being like, man, we need to take capitalism, right? We need to sell this to people, not give it away for free. So, dude dies. He's already almost public enemy number one to the government because he's
doesn't
trying
have
to get
anybody to pass on his work to. I'm
yeah,
assuming.
that too. And so Trump's and the CIA, who are, you know, big names even then, jump in there, take this stuff, keep it, probably maybe even try to reverse engineer it, get it a little better. Wernher, what was his name? Wernher von Braun.
Yeah,
Very smart gentleman, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence, but it could be that maybe it's not Donald Trump, though. I don't think it's Donald Trump.
There's definitely something going on there, though. I don't think this is just coincidence.
Okay, so you have the Trump.
I want to have to look into it, like really deep dive into this.
You have the Trump dynasty, right?
Yeah.
Right now. So you have Donald Trump, president, J.D. Vance, vice president, right? Next dude sets up J.D. Vance, president, Trump Jr., vice president, right? Boom. It just keeps rolling like that, right? When Trump Jr. becomes president, if he does, he'll get someone that's very familiar to him, not a family member, not his brother, and he'll pull in another good vice president that is loyal loyal to the Trump way of life, MAGA way of life, conservative way of life, right?
Cross my heart and hope to die. Welcome to my dark side.